Greetings, greetings. Miss Chantell is getting her audio together. I need to make sure that I'm heard clearly before I start yapping. So let me check this out a minute. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed day today. I am. Okay, I'm trying to find out how I can get to the channel. Um, Interesting. Uh, 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 um, let's turn that down a little. Interesting. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Can you hear me? All right, I think that's good. Let me check one more thing. Sounded kind of loud. Let me check one more thing. All right. All right. Yeah, that's good. Kind of loud. Yeah, we'll go with that. Miss Chantel, gotta check the audio, honey, because I told you I did a stream before and almost 2 hours talking to myself. That was crazy. So hold on, let me get back to my music and I'll stop my flow. Child, whew, listen. Oh my goodness. All right. No, I don't think I want to listen to this. All right. I think that's the best kind of music for this particular live stream. It's a slow relationship type of vibe, jazzy style. And I say that's the best kind of music for this type of stream because what I'm talking about is almost like a relationship that has gone bad. One of the parties do not know how to let go and move them on. They want to continue to linger and harass the other party of the relationship that's no longer a relationship. It's like a guy and a girl kicking it, and then they get deep into a relationship for a few years, and next thing you know, it don't work out. And the guy or the girl, they don't know how to move along. They just linger, stalk, and harass the other person as though life is not out there. They can't do nothing with themselves. And that is what I'm liking the relationship to with Africans and foundational Black Americans in this live stream. Let me turn this down because I don't want it to override my conversation. That is what I'm liking the relationship to. Hold on, let me get something to prop this up. It's a really creepy, sadistic, creepy type of relationship. It's not even a relationship because let me explain something to you. Matter of fact, before I even get into all of that, let me introduce myself. My name is, let me introduce myself first. So, first of all, oh, I hate commercials. Oh, so first of all, let me make this very clear. This is Miss Chantell. I do not have African ancestry. Do you hear me? I do not have African ancestry. I have an admixture of ancestry, not African ancestry. Nobody's going to force me into saying that I have African ancestry, which means I would be only acknowledging one of the ancestry of the people of my ancestral line. And I'm not going to do that. Miss Chantell acknowledged all. So therefore, I am not of African ancestry. I am of an admixture, which I acknowledge all of them. Do you understand? FBAs. Don't let these people come up to you demanding that you identify strictly as African ancestry. No, sir, no, ma'am, we are not of African ancestry. How many times we got to tell you this? We are in admixture, and we acknowledge all of our ancestry, not just no African. And yes, some of us don't have no African ancestry. Eat it up and get down the street. Okay, so that's Miss Chantell. I do not have African ancestry. I have an admixture of ancestry. Do you understand? I am not African. I am a foundational Black American. That is what we identify as today. We we're gonna get into this. We're gonna go deep into this today because we need to understand we don't have no ties to Africa. Y'all need to leave us the hell alone. We have nothing to do with Africa or Africans. We're in America. We only have association with Africans when they come to America. None of us, majority of foundational Black Americans, are not looking to go to Africa. Do you not understand? Majority of us, like 98% of us, have not been to Africa, ain't thinking about Africa, don't even engage with Africans on this continent, let alone African continent. Listen, we're going to get into that because we need to understand there's no relationship. When you came here, we were welcoming, we tried, and we realized that you do not have our mindset. You are opposite of our mindset. You're completely opposite. And you're dangerously tribal minded, which means you hate people that look like you. That have, when I say look like you, that have the complexion, melanated people. There is no relationship. It doesn't exist. And it's turned into harassment. And we're going to get into where that's going to lead to. Okay? It's not good for you in America to be such a way. You have to let go and be gone. Move along, move around. We're going to talk about that though. But anyways, like I say, I'm Miss Chantell. Welcome to the channel. I am not of African ancestry. I'm of an admixture of ancestry. I will not be demanded or bullied into identifying strictly as having African ancestry. I, again, have an admixture of ancestry. I recognize all of my ancestry, okay, or ancestors, not just a African, which I personally don't believe I have any African ancestry, okay, because I can trace my roots right here in America through European and indigenous peoples, written. and documents it. But I most certainly cannot trace my roots to Africa. And I won't even try because it's totally obsolete and not necessary and just stupid. Why would I try to trace my my lineage all the way back to Africa where they sold my people? What, why would I do that? Well, you want to be resold? I don't understand why you would want me to trace my lineage all the way to Africa. For what? They still selling people there today. What you gonna do? Package and be resold again like a crazy or ate like the American Liberians? I don't think so. I'm not doing that. No, sir, no, ma'am. Mm-mm. But anyways, um, I have no association with the continent of with Africans or North the the continent of Africa. Like nothing, just nothing. Me and my family, nothing. We never been to Africa. Ain't looking to go to Africa. Just nothing. I have family members that have been there, but they're just visiting like white folks. They just go see. Nothing, no ties. Everything about us is right here in America. We don't have any desire to go to Africa, to go to see the slave dungeons where African kingdoms sold terrified Africans to Europeans and other foreign groups. We don't desire to go experience that. Talking about, oh, that's the ancestors. That's a horrible thing to sell. Come and experience what they experience. What? Are you crazy or stupid? I will not. Still making money off it today. So, my ethnicity, my lineage is not up for conversation. So, when I declare to you who I am and that I have no connection, me and my family, nothing to do with Africans nor the continent of Africa, we have nothing to do with that place or those people. Nobody has the right to question our ethnicity, our lineage, or anything else about us. Because anybody that does is clearly mentally ill. Because I care nothing about you and where you come from and what you do and what you're about. I couldn't care less. Like, just move out of my face. Move around. Do you see the relationship I'm talking about? There is no relationship. Someone is just harassing people. Africans harassing foundational Black Americans. We don't care nothing about you. We don't care about Africa, the continent of Africa, the Africans. We here in America. We don't want to talk about the continent of Africa and Africans. You're here. If you were not here, we wouldn't have any association, anything to do with you, period. We're not Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans is those cosplaying immigrants trying to push that crap on us, to Africanize us. And we have rejected, we have awakened to the reality that those people are not us, that's cosplaying immigrants. And we're done with it. We done stumped it out. Now, Pan-Africans and Africans, move along, move around, leave us alone. Listen, I'm still hearing chats where these people is talking about how we lost our identity to them and our connection to them. What are you talking about? Who wants to be connected to you? I'm a foundational Black American, a real foundational Black American, not a cosplaying first or second generation immigrant. cosplaying foundational Black Americans like you guys do, which is sad. I cannot respect a person who's not proud of who they are, who too afraid to actually say, yes, my mother originates from Barbados. Hmm? I don't feel Barbadian though. I don't care what you feel. You are. If that is your origins, that's what you are. Period. That's where mommy comes from. Okay. I don't even want to hold a conversation with somebody who's too ashamed to admit their true origin, their true ethnicity. You're not worth me having a conversation with. I respect honesty. That's what I respect. I don't care how bad they say Somali is or whatever. You're supposed to stand strong in it. Just like at one point they were saying that foundational Black Americans, we this, we that, and all that old crap. Guess what? We still black and proud. That's what we was responded with. We black and we proud. You stand strong in who you are. And anybody that can't be truthful about their true origins, you're not worth the conversation. All right? Let's keep going into this conversation because listen, I've been hearing like chats with these people listening in. I dip in sometimes, and these people, Lord of have mercy, they up here connecting us to the failures of countries on the continent of Africa. Now, what do foundational Black Americans have to do with the failures of African countries? This is the mindset, completely opposite of ours. Completely opposite. Projecting. Anything not to look at yourself. Anybody to point the finger at. Listen, we don't have our own country. We're a people in a nation. When I say in a nation, we're a nation within a nation. We ain't running nothing here. This ain't our country. You guys have your own country to tend to. Don't give me that white man stuff. Stop it. You can go over there and tear everything down and start from the very beginning, from scratch. Don't give me no excuses. But instead, you rather sit around and say, foundational Black Americans, they don't have anything, no power or anything, but you got a whole country that you don't want to go home and clean up and start from scratch. I tell you this, when we did have the opportunity to have a country, a landmass that the white people purchased and sent our people over there to Africa, they built. They built that country. It was one of the leading, it was one of the quickest, fastest growing nations in Africa, becoming one of the leading nations in Africa. Quickly, highly supported. People going over there just to even see it ain't even got off the ground yet. Halfway. I mean, listen, the place was right. Until the jealous hearted savages decided they wanted it and stole it and ate the people to so called absorb their power. That's what happens. They're dangerously tribal over there. And you think that we're going to relocate to Africa? What's wrong with your mind? Listen, when we did have the chance to show you what we would do with our own country, it was Liberia. It was Liberia. And what happened to Liberia? I want you to remember that. What happened? The jealous hearted savages stole the country and ate the people and tried to so called absorb their powers by eating them raw, literally eating them raw. So you can never put us in the same boat with you. Matter of fact, you already know that. That's how come you guys are sitting back begging us every day, all I hear on you guys' channels is just filled with begging foundational Black Americans to go to Africa and build your country. And that is pathetic. I must say that's pathetic to hear men. I'm not going to even entertain women, right? Because I see men as leaders. And so, listen, when I hear men sitting around gulping and just only if the foundational Black Americans work with us, we could go to Africa and build Wakanda. Oh my gosh. So you clearly think highly of us, very highly of us, very, very, very highly of us. You don't think you could do shit without us, clearly. Because if you did, you would not be sitting around begging foundational Black Americans to come and build Africa for you. Your country's up for you. That's an embarrassment. And any Pan African that's pushing you and leading you in that direction, you should make sure to tell them, hold on. Yeah, you should be sure to stop them right in their tracks and let them know, don't you dare belittle the African man in me. I'm talking about you, and act as though we cannot think for ourselves and do for ourselves and build for ourselves. We need to beg other men, foundational Black American men in particular, to come and build our nations for us and our women. How are we going to get our women's respect if we have to beg other nation of men, because you're not doing it to like Jamaicans or Haitians or anybody else, just foundational Black Americans? How are we going to have our women respect us if our women and children, if we relying upon these people to come and build our home countries for us, our Wakandas for us, how are you going to gain the respect of your women and children? So, see, anytime you have Pan Africans pushing that Africa could be great only if we can get foundational Black Americans, we can trick them over there some kind of way and build up Africa for us. That's really, really low. It's disrespectful to you as an African man. I don't know what Pan Africans are about, but clearly, they're misleading you as they misled foundational Black Americans at one point, which we're no longer allowing it to be. That's not happening anymore. We stumped them out. They're done with. They're finished. Soon as we hear Pan, what Pan? Be done. Like a roach being stumped on. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. You need to do the same thing, Africans. Stop being misled by Pan Africans who are making you out to be the weakest looking men on the earth, on the face of the earth, by having you come and sit with them and beg foundational Black American men to come and build your countries for you. 1 second. Yes, honey, I made my son some breakfast and he don't eat grits. So he's not a southerner like me though. You know what I mean? Like it's insulting to say you don't eat grits. But he's not a southerner, so he get a pass on that. He probably like Farina, them upstate folks. They like sweet grits. You know what I mean? Ew, ew, sweet grits. But anyways, like it just, I don't know what to think when I hear somebody say they don't like grits. Okay, it's a southern thing. One more second. Hold on. Let me help my son a second. Hey, you don't even like the. Never mind. Never mind. But anyway, let me get back to where I was. Uh, as I was saying, oh, I was talking about Pan Africans and about Africans being careful not to be misled by Pan Africans the way foundational Black Americans were misled at one point by Pan Africans. Pan Africans are people that is people that's Black immigrants that cosplay foundational Black Americans. Okay, like a lot of times they're first, second generation of people, you know what I mean? Or even third generation of people. So, they oh, you have an ice cream too? Oh. So um be careful, you Africans, not to be misled by deceitful Pan Africans. I don't know what they look to get out the deal while they up here, you know, shucking and jiving, as they used to say back in the days, trying to lead people this way, sway people that way. But I can tell you what I think. Miss Chantell thinks that it's money in when you can move a crowd. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's money in knowing how to move a crowd. And what I mean by that is that if you can gain up an audience, you understand what I'm saying? And when you gain up that audience, if your influence is great among the people, it's just like having a YouTube channel and you gain an audience, say like 1 million people. A lot of times people buy those people channel. When they hit 1 million, they buy the channel and keep the person as the face of the channel, the creator of the channel. They keep them as the face and they continue to use that person's face to sell their products behind the scene. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's how all business work, by the way. You see what I'm saying? So it's money in knowing how to move a crowd. And I think that's what some Pan Africans are on. They like to move the crowd and it's about money. It's not that they care anything about the people or anything like that. It's just strictly about money. But let's go deeper. Let's go deeper right quick. I wrote some things down that I wanted to address. But let's go deeper right quick and we'll get into Pan African deception a little bit later into the conversation, but I just wanted to make it clear that Pan Africans are not to be trusted, not by foundational Black Americans, which we have awakened up. We have awakened to their deception and we have stumped them out, like I said. We don't want to hear nothing about a pan, nothing. Okay. And now it's time for you Africans to do the same. Stump them out. They want to lead you into defeat, being at the feet of foundational Black Americans begging us to come build your country for you. That's less than a man. Anytime a Pan African is on that type of stuff and trying to get you to do such a thing, sit around and harping around and talking about only if we can come together and nah, MFers, nah, MFers. Stop all that. You come together with your fellow countrymen. How you want to come together with us, a whole nation, another nation of people, but when you can't come together with your own nation of people? Huh? Make it make sense. You want to come together as one with foundational Black Americans, but you can't sit down and come together as one with Nigerians. Oh, it's tribal. I get it. But if you're talking about coming together as one with a whole nother nation of people in a whole nother country, foundational Black Americans, why don't you do it first with your own countrymen? Make it make sense now. You do it first with your own people. Some kind of way you find a way around that tribalism. But then I'm gonna go deeper and talk about why tribalism keeps Africans from coming together. But for right now, you your focus needs to be on your own people, Nigerians, or whatever country you're from, Gambians. That's where your focus needs to be. You don't need to be focused on coming together as one with foundational Black Americans in a whole nother country. Because we already understand now we don't have the same outlook on life. We don't have the same experience in life, which makes us who we are today. We don't have the same anything. We have nothing in common, period. So you can't come together with us as one. We welcome your brotherhood and sisterhood for many years, decades upon decades. We welcomed it. Even though our ancestors acknowledge W.E.B. Du Bois and them, they acknowledged back in the days immigrant tensions within foundational Black American culture or society. Because when you guys came here back in the days, long time ago, too, in the early 18 and 1900s, who did you come among? It was not white people, it was us. And we've always been accepting, always, even way, way back in the days. Even though our ancestors wrote about you, the tensions between foundational Black Americans and Black immigrants. They had to give Marcus Garvey pushback, and they had to go to the highest level. They had to rise to presidential level to make it known that this man was not good for our people in our community. He was promoting our people to leave America and go to Africa. This stuff was written about by our people. They acknowledged the tensions among us, foundational Black Americans and Black immigrants. Nothing to fight over. No, it's just acknowledging we're different people and we don't need to be living among each other. Like you have your neighborhoods over there and we have ours over here. That's what happens when we don't share common goals and things like that. That's how it was supposed to be in the beginning because we don't have anything in common with you. Okay, when immigrants come to America, you guys come here and you gather together and you maintain whatever it is you're trying to maintain for your own group. You don't come here to help us maintain what we want for our group. Do you see? You see what I'm saying? That's the breakdown. So considering that alone, we cannot come together. And it's come to the point where it's time for delineation. It has already kicked in and started, and clearly you guys have an issue with it. And that's what we're talking about in this live stream today. You have a clear issue with foundational Black Americans delineating from Africans and Black immigrants, especially the first, second, and third generation of Black immigrants here in America that truly think that they are foundational Black Americans, and they're not. I heard Godfrey. You know, I had said that I like Godfrey, right? He's funny or whatever like that. But listen, you know, he has identity crisis issues going on because this man, I heard the conversation he was having. He jumps from, I'm Nigerian. He was talking to a guy about all the Black American, not Black American, all the foundational Black American inventions that was invented here in America. Um, he's talking about us, my ancestors, as though they're his, right? I'm not, I'm Black American, never identified as foundational Black American. I'm Black American, and we invented, wait, okay, now you're confusing me. You say you're Nigerian. Now you say we, Black Americans, invented. Wait a minute, you can't jump all over the place. I don't get to jump all over the place, neither can you. I only get to be in foundational Black American suit, which I am, and you must stay in your Nigerian American suit. You can't jump over into our suit talking about you're a Black American. The nerves of these people. That's why I say you guys have a total opposite mindset. You don't understand anything the way we do. Let me break this down a little deeper right here. Godfrey was born and raised in America, he said, right? So he has this thing where he thinks that he's one of us, plus he's a Nigerian American. Uh no, no, okay. No, you're not one of us, sir. Let me explain this to you. You can come to our church house. You just like a white person, pretty much. We would never get that comfortable in front of you and let loose and with our tongue and say things that is meant strictly for foundational Black American ears. We would not say those things in front of Africans who we know isn't of us. That's what we do with white people. We're not going to say certain things in front of them. We're not going to let loose our tongue in front of them. We're going to wait till they leave. Because the words that we spew when we have a loose tongue among each other, as Wendy Williams called the kitchen table talk, we don't do that in front of guests. That's what you are in a house of foundational Black Americans. You're not one of us. You're a guest, just like a white person would be. And we don't speak with a loose tongue in front of the guest. An African would be a guest. Guest. We would not let loose with our tongue and speak freely in front of you just because you're melanated. No, sir, that's not how that go. You have not been in every home of foundational Black Americans to know us in depth that way because you were born here. You're a Nigerian American. You've been in Nigerian American homes. And even if I, as a foundational Black American, was to go into Nigerian American homes, they too would treat me as a guest. They would not be loose with the tongue in front of me because I would be considered a guest like a white person. They would not let loose with the tongue. They would wait until it's only Nigerian Americans whose ears it is meant for to hear. So see, you cannot jump over into our shit while you also, I give you a round of applause for admitting that, you know, your true ethnicity, which is Nigerian. He admits that because he could be walking around here denying it like a lot of them cuckoo birds do. But he acknowledges his Nigerian American roots, which is bravo for you. But you're not one of us on that level. You're Nigerian American, not Black American. Wherever you guys' parents are from, that is your origins. That is your true ethnicity. So again, an African is a guest, just like a white person, in a foundation of Black American societies. We won't let loose with the tongue like that in front of you because you're not one of us. Vice versa. you guys would treat me as a guest too, as a foundational Black American. You're not going to let loose with the tongue because I'm a guest. I'm not one of you. So see, that right there is me explaining to you how you cannot be Nigerian American and Black American at the same time. Stupid. Listen, don't get me going down about ethnic pad right now. We're not gonna go there. We're just not doing it today. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put that to the side for another time because I want to have this conversation right here about what the fuck is wrong with Africans and Black immigrants not being able to accept that foundational Black Americans are we have delineated, we delineating, period, and we don't want nothing to do with any of you on that level. We're just focused on us. Why can't you respect that? I heard a conversation today where these idiots is sitting up here talking about, well, how would you feel if you were stolen from Africa? Stolen? You mean sold? Let's use the correct words now. Sold. If you were stolen from Africa and you lost all your connections and roots, sweetheart, when American Liberians, when the freedmen went over there, they didn't want to have anything to do with you indigenous Africans. Does it sound like they feel like they don't have a connection to you? They would have been mating with you like crazy, but they found you to be very yucky. No offense, that's how they saw you to be savages. And that's why they didn't F with you on a personal level. They didn't have any personal relationships with you or anything. They were grossed out by a lot of things that you guys did. Number one, selling people, kidnapping tribes and selling them. So does it sound like those people were like, we don't know who we are, and we just want to come back home to Mother Africa and connect with you guys? They were not trying to connect with you. They didn't see you in a very good light. Wake up. See, this is the mindset. This is how opposite we are to Africans and Black immigrants. The mindset is completely opposite. We are not. I'm a foundational Black American woman. True. Mother and dad side, full blood. Okay? Listen, none of us are seeking relationships to Africa, to get connected to Africa. That was that Pan-African bullshit being pushed, okay? We're not on that anymore. We're not on it anymore. We didn't recognize the Pan-African deception and lies. We didn't stump them out like cockroach in a crack of the ground. And we done made it clear we're delineating. We don't want to have nothing to do with Africa, the continent of Africa, Africans, or any damn thing. We just focused on us, trying to maintain and see where we're gonna take it from here. We care nothing about anybody else. We're not on that anymore. We understand now that we have to look out for ourselves and only ourselves, because that's the name of the game. Okay? We're not trying to find a connection to Africans or have a relationship with and this is hard for Africans and Black immigrants to accept. We don't want relations with you on no level because we don't need you. How do we need you? We never needed you. We don't need you now. And even if we did need you, you wouldn't be there. If the war broke out, y'all would be fighting for the white man. Okay? And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Listen, still trying to Africanize us. But you're not accepting your African. I'm going to say this nice and slow. As a foundational Black American woman, we don't seek to have any relationships with Africans on any level. When you hear that kind of talk, Africans, you better understand that's Pan-Africans cosplaying foundational Black Americans. That's talking that bull trash to your face. Okay, they're misleading you. We're not seeking any relationship with you. We're not seeking any connection to Africa or Africans. We don't even want to be African, to be honest. We just strictly, we say, hey, we connected to the soil here. This is where our people at. Majority of us are have European and indigenous ancestry. And this is where we can trace our lineage all through here, European and indigenous. And we can't trace it back to Africa. That bull crap about ancestry crap, that's foolery. It's foolery. Well, you 90% this, you 90% that. Don't you know in the data, the ancestry database, a lot of indigenous people did not participate. They don't have their samples because they didn't trust them with their samples. Only about 4 or 5 nations of indigenous people, and that's the northern ones. You know, they called them the whitewashed ones because they wanted to assimilate, and the southern ones was like your sellouts, your big coon buffoons. But but sweetie, we far from majority, 90% African. We're not Haitians. That's what they say about Haitians and stuff. Okay. Okay. You guys gotta wake up to reality. Hold on, I got somebody in the chat right quick. I don't got, I be spazzing. I be going into my spaz, y'all. I don't always look at what's in the chat. Hold on. Chantell, my ex-classmate from RBR University. Oh, Mellow. Greetings, non-swirl. I'm noticing the FBA movement is gaining much attention. I heard CNN commentator Laura Ingram and others using FBA. That's good. That's good. That's wonderful. Hold up. That's wonderful. A lot of other recent Black groups to America would love to erase our history. You got that right. You got that right. They want to Africanize us. If we're not going to Africa, the Pan Africans, like, we're not getting them to sway over here. We didn't find out about Dennis Lou Richard and him trying to Africanize everything and sway us over back to Africa with the scheme of using our women. Y'all never listen. It ain't happening because we don't want to have anything to do with Africa, the continent of Africa. We don't want to have anything to do with Africans. Basically, we only associate because you're here. And we're not really a rude, bad people. We're not psychotic people like you guys are. And I hear you admitting it all the time. Africans are bad. Not bad enough to get them white folks out your country, though, and tell them white folks, get the out of here and kiss my ass and all that. You ain't that bad. And them Asians. See, foundational Black Americans ain't over there trying to take over your country and taking all the diamond mines and all that kind of stuff like that. Why is you telling us how bad you are? Why is you telling that to us? Because you're tribal. You're tribal minded, jealous hearted. You gotta wonder why they even looking at us. We're not over there doing nothing to your country. America. You must be talking about white America, because Black America ain't surely over there doing nothing to you and your people. Okay? Leave us alone and out of it. Like, let me get focused because I'm all over the place and I want to touch up on it. So, why are Africans concerned with Black Americans relocating to Africa to build with them? Why is it a must that we go to Africa and build their countries for them? Are they incapable of thinking for themselves and building for themselves? This is a question for y'all. Because if I was a man, nobody is going to belittle me to that point. And I'm talking about Pan-Africans, because Foundational Black Americans telling you to go ahead on and move around. We don't want nothing from you. No kind of connection to you. We don't even want to talk to you. Okay, listen, just move around. Pan Africans are telling you to beg us, foundational Black Americans, to come and build your country. You need to set them straight, sweetie. You're men. Because if I was a man and another man came up to me and told me go beg that nation of men to come build my nation, I'd have a problem with them. Okay. FBAs, foundational Black Americans, have made it clear that we don't want any sort of relationships. We are already in a process of delineating, and it's going to get better and better and better to the point we are separate. It's very much acknowledged, clearly acknowledged as foundational Black Americans, and that group of people right there, not foundational Black Americans. You know, those groups. This is based on our survival and progression, continuous progression in America. That's what we have to be concerned about. Our survival and continuous progression in America. This is not about hating Africans. Don't nobody hate you. Hate you for what? For what? Who are you? Hate you for what? Why? We're just politely saying, move the fuck around. We done. No conversation needed. Just move around. You say you come to get the woo wop or whatever the hell y'all call it. Get your woo wop. We're not trying to kick you out the country. It's the other Americans, the white tea people. Wake up. We just saying it's going to get better when you're not in the country, because there's going to be a lot more opportunity available. And they got white people saying the same thing. Okay? So, why do Africans and Black immigrants refuse to respect foundational Black Americans delineating from them? They're continuously demanding that we identify strictly as African descent and not acknowledge our admixture of African ancestry, only acknowledge they're demanding that we not acknowledge our admixture of ancestry. They want us to only acknowledge African ancestry, which we're not African. Why is this an issue for Africans and first and second generation immigrants to respect us delineating? Why is it an issue? That's my thing. I was supposed to be talking about the Karen Hunter thing. She did a fabulous job. I might get some commentary on it before I end it in this stream. She did a fabulous job letting that guy know that he's a big Dumbo idiot. And y'all should be right on the same path with her, because he going around calling y'all big. He calling Africans dumb as rocks. I'm like, Lord, have mercy. You up here, you up here going around calling other Africans dumb as rocks. And then when somebody address your people, no, my people never sold not one slave. In fact, my grandfather, you know what he was? He was a healer. And he was the healer. My people were healers of Africa. And what Africans? Only your tribe or what? Yeah. Tribal shit. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'll be hearing these videos. Oh, and then I got about 4 questions I want to lay out too. Hold up. By the way, I heard somebody lying on here talking about Jamaican toast was founded by Jamaicans. No, sweetheart, you need to go sit down and do your research a little bit more better. Jamaicans were obsessed, totally obsessed. like a Michael Jackson craze out fan with James Brown in the 60s. They were totally obsessed. And that's where they got the toasting from. And they had their own little spin on it. But it comes from us, baby. Okay? Nobody but foundational Black Americans founded rap and what you want to call hip hop, which is all of our stuff. Period, point blank. And let me tell you another thing. A lot of these people be talking about these foreigners. Oh, the first this, first that was Jamaican or Haitian. And you look the person up and you're like, oh, that was a mixie. No offense when I say mixie. When I say mixie, it just means a person that has a non-Black parent and a Black parent. And in other countries where they enslaved people, majority of their mixies were born free. They were not born into slavery because they were mixies. The white man knew how to play the game very well. He would take his mixies that he purposely had mixies for a reason, so that he can put them in charge over the African descendant of slaves or free, free people that was now free but still in a lower class. And he would put his mixies over them to maintain his stuff. Because it was broken up. Like these people was in control of this industry. They was in control of the shipping industry. They was in control of the whatever, like that. And a lot of these immigrant groups, they purposely created mixed children so that they can put them, just like in every country where there's say Sudan, and they went up in there and they had those mixies, and they put them over the African descent Sudanese people. And the relationship is chaotic. In a lot of different countries during slavery, it was the same way. The mixies and the African descents, it wasn't a good relationship because they were put in charge of the African descendant people. So for Haitians or somebody to be hollering, or Jamaicans, oh, they were biracial. That's not good because they didn't have your experience. And they were likely free people. In America, it's different. In America, the mixies over here, when I say mixies, I mean a person with a non-Black parent, they were enslaved. They were not born free because they were mixed. They went into slavery as well. Do you understand? So when I hear like a Haitian or somebody Jamaican, oh, he was mixed, don't clap for it. Because this person was put over your people. Okay, a mixed born person in America, they were not. They went into slavery. They just was more mainly in the house, but they still were slaves. Okay. I say that because they have people be on here lying, fabricating stories and twisting stories up. And one thing I don't like talking to is a liar or ill-informed person that's too emotional to have a conversation, filled with hatred and jealousy. Too emotional to have a conversation. Okay, so here's some questions right here I want to lay out. Are the majority of foundational Black Americans seeking to visit Africa or have any business on the continent of Africa? Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Like 99.7% don't want anything to do with Africa or any business or anything. They're not even thinking about Africa, baby. Don't let Pan-Africans lie to you. I'm a foundational Black American woman, and I tell you, my people ain't even thinking about y'all like that. Not the continent, not Africans in America, or none of that. Okay? It's just not the case. I want to go deeper into why though. Why, and why? I'm gonna push my papers to the side because I just want to just pound on it. Why is it important to Africans what foundational Black Americans are doing? Why is that important to you, what we're doing? We're delineating. Why is it important to you? Is it bothering you somehow? We don't want anything to do with Africa. We don't want to identify with Africa as a people. We don't want anything to do with Africa. Why is that a problem? Does it hurt you? It hurts your feelings or something? Why? Do you care? It's like a relationship that's gone bad. And this girl, the guy says, "Hey babe, look, let's just move along because I don't feel happy in this. I think this is a one-way street, baby. I'm not being satisfied. You know what I'm saying? And I want more than what you're offering." Oh no! Oh no! I gave you too much. I put too much time into this. No. But baby, it ain't a choice. I'm telling you, I'm done. I'm sorry, but this ain't working out. Get on now, get on, get the hell on now. But she still lurks in the background, following them, stalking them and shit, getting all on his Instagrams and social media sites. Every time you look up, stalking his family and shit, just that's what Africans basically doing to foundational Black Americans. I don't know if it's because you are being misled by Pan Africans. I want to believe that. But if you are, Miss Chantell is here to help you realize that you need to shake it off as men and women. Shake it off. Don't let somebody make you think you so dumb that you can't do nothing for yourself. And you need to go to the smartest Black people on earth, which is foundational Black Americans, to build your country. Just like we built America. Just like we built America. See this ink pen I'm holding in my hand? It's the ink pen. Yeah, that's right. It was invented by a foundational Black American. Yes, the dry cleaning service too. Why don't you take a few minutes and just type it in the system, you dumbo? It only take a few minutes to click that up. Fishing pole. What else? I mean, the baby stroller, all that stuff, flashlight, traffic lights, neon lights, my gas mask. What else, girl? Because I've been looking at some. Oh, y'all know the brown paper bag. Yes, the brown paper bag. That was a whole setup system where people use, the grocery store, the cash register, the brown paper bag system. The whole machine was invented by a Black woman. Yes, sweetie. It's so much. Folding bike. Y'all ain't know that though, huh? Yeah, baby, they stole a lot of people inventions, but listen. One day, maybe this week, of course, I'm gonna do a whole series on all of our inventions. Many which you don't even know about. Okay, the hot curl, the hair clippers, the hot curler, mm, all that boo boo. Um, what else? 3D web, the hologram, the IBM computer system, personal computer, the first color monitor, first color computer monitor color screen, color screen. Baby, all that right there. I think I might do it. I can't promise I'm gonna do it tomorrow, but I'm gonna try. You know what I mean? I'm gonna write it out. All the inventions and all the businesses. Okay. And then, yeah, I'll do that sometime this week. We have a lot to be proud of as foundational Black Americans. That's what you hear when you hear us talking the way we talk. We're proud. Of course, we are talking about we follow white people. Baby, what are you talking about? Don't you see these people copying us? Let me take a sip. It's wonderful to be able to be proud of who you are. You don't have to hide your true origins, your true ethnicity. You're just proud as heck to be a foundational Black American. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of these first, second, and third generation of people, they have to hide their true origins and ethnicities because they don't want to be who they are. They're ashamed. That must be a terrible feeling. But yeah, I wanted to discuss that though, just to make it understood that because I be hearing those panels and I be like, what? You think that we looking? Why would foundational Black Americans want to be African? What makes you think we actually sitting around wanting to be African? Wanting first you complain about us not identifying as African, then you say we lost our connection to you, which I ain't no much African, me nor my family. Okay. Nobody walking around this country identifying that's a foundational Black American. None are identifying as African. None of them are proud to say I'm African. None. And we ain't talking about no cosplaying idiots. I'm foundation. I'm sorry. I used to be a very open young lady when it comes to being friendly with people. Because that's who my people are, really. We're very welcoming people and stuff like that. I knew Africans for a short bit. Some Africans through my lady friends. One of them was married to African. One of them, she just played them to the, left to pay her bills and stuff. um, but I'm so glad that my kid is with a foundational Black American man. Because I used to date outside my race and all that. I'm just so glad that I didn't take it there to have relations, serious matters with anybody to that degree where I married and had a family with them. My kid is foundational Black American, which I'm very proud of. I'm happy for that. Okay. So, because it can be confusing when it's biracial or bi ethnic. It can be pretty confusing to navigate. You know what I'm saying? This system of racial, in different countries, the system is a little different. This system is based on racial identity. Some other ones is based on ethnicities. Uh, like I know in some European countries, they base it on ethnicities. It's not so much about your race over there, you know. But in this system here that's based on race, I'm just glad that there's no confusion. My son is full blood, foundational Black American, like myself. And ooh, I think everybody should be proud of who they are. Oh, so let's dip into this. What's going on in the news, baby? But before I go into that, let me make it known one more time. You Africans, and no foundational Black American person is trying to make any connections with you. We ain't trying to be African. We ain't trying to identify as African. We ain't trying to have no connections to Africans. Not here. I mean, they're gonna be courteous to you here, but we're not trying to like deal with you anymore. You understand what I'm saying? We're not trying to do that no more in America nor on the continent. So while you thinking that we lost some kind of connection to you or something like that, no, sir, no, ma'am. We don't want to have nothing to do with you. Period. Period. Okay. And we couldn't care less what you think about us because we don't care anything about you. Just to be honest. That goes for first, second, and third gens who misrepresenting foundational Black Americans. I don't really care about you calling yourself a Black American because you doing right. You know not to call yourself a foundational Black American because that you are not. So it's best you stay over there with the, well, I am a Black American. You certainly are. But you most certainly not a foundational Black American. People gonna know the difference, you big doofus. They're gonna say, well, why you not identifying as foundational? Isn't it the same? Wait a minute, what's the difference? Girl, the difference is we are not they're first, second, and third generation of immigrants that's cosplaying foundational Black Americans. That's the difference. They're not one of us. They're not a foundational Black American. That's the difference, baby. Okay, and the difference is all of the inventions and all that is strictly foundational Black Americans. They're not immigrants. Okay, you might have one or two, but that's about it. Their lineage is not of American. It's not in the soil. So it's clear that these people have a problem with foundational Black Americans delineating. And that's a sad thing. Like I said, it reminds me of a relationship that's over and they don't want to let go. Why can't they be respectful and say, okay, we get it, we understand what you're saying, and that's it. Period. Oh no, but we need to be one. What? We just told you we ain't want nothing else to do with you. Oh no, no, that's some of you. You really think if shit go down that our people gon' side with your retarded ass? If shit go down, you think what you think our family is gonna run out the house and be like, no, no, we have to be with them, the immigrant children and stuff that you stupid or dumb. All right. Majority of you have the mindset of Frank Zanu. You're self-hating and tribal minded. That man sees Africans as being dumb as rocks. Basically, that's what my mind told me when I heard him talking. He came to the table to have conversations with these Africans and Black immigrants about warning them if they don't change and tear down the white supremacist mindset or ideology of how to run their countries, then they're doomed. But he offered no solutions. I don't know what to do. I just wanted to point this out to you. What the fuck? Excuse me? Oh, you're gonna come and interrupt the whole conversation. Don't offer no kind of solutions. Just tell us we not us because I'm a but tell the Africans they dumb as rocks. but no solution. Then try to include foundational Black Americans into African crap, which we have no kind of ties to Africa, no connection to Africa. You got white people on the panels talking about, oh yeah, they ours. Foundational Black Americans, they're ours. While you, the Africans, started trying to get us to come to Africa. This shit ain't even. Listen, the conversation don't need to include foundational Black Americans. We have no ties to Africa, not on the continent, not in America. We just don't have anything to do with Africa or Africans. We courteous in passing, meaning, when you're out and about, you're courteous, but we're not trying to build with you on that level. No kinds of ways anymore, any longer. It's done with. The relationship has been severed and it can't be put back together. Don't worry about apologizing now. It's too late. Okay. So we're not your issue. We don't run America. Trump administration is your issue. You can't beg us to stay in the country. We don't have no say so in that. You think we have any say so in that? We don't. Open your eyes. We have nothing to do with it. Stop telling us how bad you are because you're tribal minded, of course, but leave us out of your mess. We're not kicking you out this country. It's the Trump administration. Mm-hmm. We're none of your concern, and you're none of our concern. Yeah. Respect is a two-way street. We haven't taken anything from Africans. And we would kindly like it if you just respect that we delineating and leave us be. Stop harassing us all on social media because it's going to not be good for you when they really get down to kicking you guys out. They're going to look at these social media sites and see how you're harassing foundational Black Americans. You're in the country with foundational Black American citizens. You think that, oh, okay, they don't value them, so we can do this to them. And then they're going to use it against you to kick you right on home. We're not going to let you come here and just stomp all over our Black foundational American citizens because you think we're not going to do anything about it. You're harassing them. They were kind enough to accept you here and look at your behavior. You people are garbage. Okay, it's going to turn out not lovely for you harassing foundational Black Americans because they're going to use that against you. Okay. Be happy. Go build something. Work with your people. You can't build nothing with us. You got to first build with each other. Go to your country, people. All of you Nigerians or all of the Gambians or all of the work with the people in your country first. to come up with a plan or whatever the hell you're going to do. And that's where it starts. And when you can work with each other, then you look outside of yourselves to work with others. But if you cannot first build within your own nation, can't build with nobody else, sweetie. Okay? That's just what it is. Karen Hunter, big ups, Miss Karen Hunter. She surely made Zanzu look a hot mess. She wondered why. What she asked, why do you continuously push these European stereotypes about Africans and foundational Black Americans being so called so dumb? What's your point? Oh, and by the way, when you worked for whatever big time news outlet you claim, media you claim to work for, it was not as a journalist, it was as a photographer. Let's get that straight. Let's distinguish the differences. You took pictures for them. You were not a journalist. I say, oh, ouch, ouch. And she continuously interrupts his conversation to remind him that you should not speak on things that you know nothing about, which of course is the foundational Black American history and culture in this country. Just made him look a hot mess. Let me take a sip. I'm hearing a lot of people now when I explained the story in the Bible about the Tower of Babel. And a lot of people tell the stories, but they don't know, they don't have spiritual in-depthness to understand, you know, the whole thing through. But I heard him trying to use it to guide some Africans into something. I'm like, what? It didn't even make sense. I'm like, oh, come on now. Come on. Don't Africanize us. We're not Africans. We have nothing to do with Africa. We have no ties to Africa, nor to Africans. We're not of African descent. We're of an admixture. We have nothing to do with the continent of Africa, nor Africans. 99.7% of us don't care anything about visiting Africa, building with Africans, or knowing Africans. We don't want any connection to Africa or Africans. Remember that. Remember that. You must remember that. We care nothing about your existence, and you should feel the vice versa, the same way about us. Move along, move around. That's it. Respect our delineation. That's all we ask. So in the news, we have all this immigration stuff going on, getting ready. Um, it's about to be a different switch. I think that he's gonna heat it up a little bit more because he's serious about getting rid of these immigrants. He ain't playing, and they're not playing either. So shit is about to hit the fan while y'all sitting back chilling and stuff. Listen, um, 1 second. Yeah, the man is not gonna let them. He's not gonna give up on getting them out the country. He's knocking off TPS like crazy. Temporary protection services like crazy. Listen, it's gonna be a lot more of them to come. I think so. Okay, you can sense it. You can feel it, yeah. I can hear it. Listen, because he don't want, that was his words, people from shithole countries in America. And he's starting with East Africa. It's all through that. I think he already knocked off the Sudanese TPS, the Ethiopians, they call them Somalians. Most definitely, he don't care for West Africans. Oh no, no, no. So whew, I think Haitians and Venezuelans. I'm thinking. I can't remember all groups that's been knocked off, but yeah, yeah. Mm, wow. I was looking at a video in Jamaica, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know why they wouldn't want to go back home. It looks pretty nice over there. Like, hmm, I guess it's all about the job opportunities. I guess I don't know. Whew. Listen, um, I also think that I happen to think that the multi, what they call it, the multi, those Pan Africans promoting that, what they be promoting that multi passport citizenship, multi citizenship stuff. Oh yeah, he's gonna get at them too. The ones that's holding multiple citizenships. Oh yeah, yeah. I think he might toss them. Or you want to have multiple citizenships, huh? All right. I think he's gonna toss them because he said everybody gonna want. He said he's gonna make it so good, everybody gonna want to come to America. And before he, I guess before he make it that good, he's gonna make sure a lot of them aren't about to have at it, have their way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's gonna be doing his best to knock a lot of people, knock them off that TPS stuff and get rid of a lot of them out the country. You know that multiple citizenship thing. I don't think that's gonna last long at all. Mm-mm. It is what it is. Y'all know the saying: "What goes up must come down." People running in here. Oh, you're jealous of us. You're lazy. You're this. You're that. Pop. Balloon gotta come flying right back down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up right here because I'm feeling sleepy. Miss Chantell gonna wrap it up right. Ooh, right on the 1:30 mark. 1 hour and 30 minutes flat. Dang. That was a good timing right there. That's what I said. I wanted to wrap it up. So I'm gonna wrap it up at one on a 1:30 mark. And it's exactly that when I look down, I'm like, oh wow. Listen, I gotta start live streaming from my computer. I'm sitting in front of my computer, but my computer kind of complicated. Um, I'm gonna learn how to put this stuff together and start live streaming from the computer, doing some visual, give you some visuals because I know a lot of people have like what they call it, the ADHD or whatever. Y'all need some visuals to keep you alert. Miss Chantel just need good convo. You know what I'm saying? And I can listen in for a long time without visuals. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Who's in my chat? Let me check. Anybody in the chat? No swirl zone. It's not. That was a long time ago. Yes, yes, yes. I'm glad he brought that up though. He said a lot of people is starting to use the term FBA. That's wonderful. It's gonna pick up more steam, and so forth because you know it will. Things are changing, not just from our end, but from the administration end of it, also the political arena. I am so glad we making distinguishing um we distinguishing now between who's who. And we finding out a lot of these people, they're not us. We don't make moves until we know for sure that's a foundational Black American. That's what's up. That's what's up. I tell you, that's what's up. We, I'm glad everything is changing for the better for us. So we got to start gatekeeping for our children. You know what I mean? For survival and progression of Black America. Excuse me, foundational Black America. But I'm gonna wrap it up right here because I'm feeling a little laid back, sleepy now. And thank you for tuning in with Miss Chantell. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the commentary, or if you want me to discuss a topic on a particular, discuss something on a particular topic. Let Miss Chantell know. And I'm gonna go ahead and tap out for tonight on this live stream because I'm sleepy. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.